Hey everyone, it's Garrick. Been a while. So, trying to get life together has been a bit of a challenge, but it's working out. Every time I try to clean my room in a couple of days, it just goes back into a complete travesty. But I did get some stuff done. I finally went to the library in Richmond to check out if there's any activities to do to help volunteer. I found the LEAP library, Literacy for Every Adult program. They need volunteers, so I'm going to try that out. They also have a lot of online courses for learning Hebrew at the Richmond Library. Um, I have their thingy thing somewhere around here, but I'm looking forward to it. It turns out they have like 215 languages available online, so a lot better than Duolingo. Babbel seems like a good work too, but I really look forward to the courses that can kind of break down how Hebrew works, because it turns out Hebrew has, at least modern Hebrew, is a bit special. So, when you read Hebrew, there's two ways you can read it, at least in the modern Hebrew. There's with the vowels and without the vowels, and it can change depending on who's writing them with a purpose. So, it's kind of think like, okay, so in Japan, they have kanji, right? Or they have like two ways of writing the words. There's the way they write over text, on their phone, and then there's the way they write it when they actually have their hands and they can spell it all out all right. Same thing with Hebrew, because it's actually a bit harder to code. They don't have any capital letters or lowercase letters. They just have one case letters, and then I have to review all of the ha or like the letters, well, their names for one. I don't want to bother memorizing their names because what's the point? I just need to know how to speak. But I guess I could try to name variables in Python after the letters, something like that. Actually, if I so if I do in my algebra class for Python, if my algebra is what algebra is the variable name spoken in English, then I do statistics in Hebrew, but with vowels, and then I do calculus without vowels. That might work because it kind of represents like the level of complexity. Algebra, well, you started with like the sounds of the words, and the statistics, the vowels, the letters with the vowels. Well, let's say the letters name in English letters, and then the statistics, it is the letters name in just Hebrew. Okay, I can work with that. Now here's a problem. A lot of coding is in English. Though I don't. Hang on, does Python work if you write it in Hebrew? Let me chat GPT it. Well, there's a bunch of functions that are only in English. Can Python script be written with modern Hebrew letters? Okay, Okay, so it says there's limitations. Comments work. Python 3 allows Unicode in identifications, so Hebrew letters can be used for variables, but I can't replace Python keywords with Hebrew. That makes sense. I don't think they even have parentheses. You know, it's like, that's what I think about languages. They don't have like it's not just the grammar. It's also, do they have a period? Do they have a question mark? What do you call those? You know, exclamation points versus varied period. Those parts of sentences. Okay. Besides that, gonna run all the way down to near Berkley and get a coffee maybe, or try to just run down there and study. Studying in Richmond Library, not bad. Gonna do it once every other day. Monday, Tuesday, Friday. It can be quite loud or a bit iffy. There's a couple people like because Richmond is a public library, there are school field trips, and they can be a bit rowdy just from my one day there, but they're easy to tune out, and it's important to practice keeping respect for others, and when maintaining that respect, you don't lose sight of your own goals, you know? So, I also want to thank you, Layla, Ruth, and Johanna, Vincent, Davide, Brian, Derek, Dr. Gonzalez, Sid, for all you guys listening to me talk. Some of you guys actually told me to start this podcast thing, and I think it's helping. You know, talking to this recorder and hoping YouTube listens. I hope somebody gets good use out of this. I'm not gonna lie, I listen to some of the trash on YouTube. There's this like one gaming doctor health guy who's actually pretty nice, but like dealing with the controversy and topics on the news just makes me distracted. Not want to work because like if you watch the news, like, oh, there's all this war happening, there's all this famine. Why would I want to thrive in hell? Why would I want to grow in hell? Hell sucks. I don't think there's going to be any reward for the growth. So you have to, well, you got to have that soldier's mentality. You got to claw and just get what you can, and whatever you suffer for keeping your values and keeping your principles, you just accept. And yeah, it's a different mentality. It's difficult or hard to force, and I do mean hard. Hard is when you have an official weight that is nearly greater than your strength. But that's why we build up our strength, by trying to take on that weight. Yeah? Anyways, thank you all for listening. Have a great day. It is 7:52. I believe in all of you, and we can all do good.